This is Nick Nilsson, the mad scientist of muscle, and what I've got for you today here is a review of a really unique piece of training equipment, Wearable Resistance from Agogie. Now, I'll give you a close-up. These are a pair of pants that have resistance bands sewn directly into the pants. So I'll kind of show you here close-up. What you can see is this is a resistance band built right into the fabric of the pants. When you look on the inside, you can see right here, these little white bits are where the bands attach in. There are 8 bands running around the entire pair of pants. So as you're wearing these, you have bands down the front, the sides, the back, somewhat on the inside here as well. Now, what this is going to do is give you resistance more towards, basically appropriate towards athletic movements. So these aren't for wearing for weight training. They're not going to do much for you for burning more calories when you're out for a leisurely walk. But what they're going to do is give you more resistance against longer range of motion exercises like sprinting or running at a fast pace, doing bodyweight exercises that have a more powerful range of motion. I shouldn't say powerful, but a powerful movement and a longer range of motion for the lower body. Will they help you burn a few more calories? Sure. Not the primary benefit, however. The primary benefit is working against bands for explosive resistance. Now, as far as the fit, to give you an idea here, these, I'll give you a close-up. This all the way around here is very thick elastic. There's a drawstring here, and in addition to the bands, you've also got these which hook around underneath your feet. The reason that's critical, and you'll see in a second, when you're wearing these, you want these to be relatively tight and pulled tight. So you actually loop and wear these around the bottom of your foot. If you didn't have them around the bottom of your foot, they would basically just have bands and they'd be a regular pair of pants. With the bands attached on your feet and attached on the other end on your hip, you get stretch, like so. So you're getting stretch. Now, I'll show you a few exercises here as I go through and kind of demonstrate a little bit more and explain a little bit more. But I've been testing these for a few months with a variety of movements. I've been doing sprinting out in front of my house. Just a couple weeks ago, I did some hill sprints wearing these, and I have to say, very effective doing sprints without it compared to sprints with it. The real benefit of this happens when you're working in the more, like I said, extended ranges of motion. So with powerful exercise, powerful movements that involve athletic movement. So wearing these, as you're doing these, when you're wearing it, for example, when you're doing a hill sprint, you're bringing your knee up. This stretches the bands that run around down the back of your body. So you're getting the stretch, you're working the hip flexors more aggressively. This, and honestly, hip flexor strength and explosiveness is one of the keys to being faster. The faster you can get your leg up and forward, the faster you're going to run, the more powerfully you're going to run. Now, as you come back and extend, that's when you're going to work using the bands in front, doing lateral training. That's the beauty of having basically a full set of bands all the way around your body, all the way around the legs, I should say. So when you're doing side movement exercises, you're also getting stretch in the bands that run down the sides, down the insides. This makes it really beneficial and actually moves it ahead of some of the other resistance wear that I've tried. There is another pair of shorts that I've used that gives you decent resistance just in the extension, but nothing really in this movement, there's just nothing, and it's just focused on that one plane of movement. These pants give you resistance in all planes of movement. Again, you will need to do athletic movements in these planes of movements, but if you're doing like boot camp stuff, if you're doing athletic training, if you're doing jump training, that kind of thing, very, very effective. All right, so the next question is, can you use these when you're doing regular weight training exercises and workouts? You can, but it's not going to do a whole lot for you, and the manufacturers acknowledge this. They actually have designed these more for athletic training. For example, if you're doing like a goblet squat, you hold this here and you're squatting down, you're going to get some stretch on the bands. You're going to get a little bit of assistance, to be honest, because the bands are going to stretch in that pattern and that plane of movement, but it's not going to be a tremendous amount. You're really better off using these for power-based athletic training. Now, are these durable? They are. I've been using, like I said, for a couple of months, and I found these to be very effective. Now, are there any downsides to using these? Are there any drawbacks? Downsides? No, but there are a few things you need to be aware of in terms of how you use these. When I was using these for hill sprints, what I found is the bottom cuff here did actually slip off my feet eventually. My feet get really sweaty when I do outdoor training, when I do running. They get trapped inside the shoes and stuff, is going to slide. So it didn't happen straight away. It happened probably about half an hour into the training, so it wasn't like an immediate thing. And once I noticed it, pop the shoe off, put the thing back on, tie the shoe back up. No problem, lasted for the rest of the workout, which went another half an hour. So very simple. Now, what you're also going to want to know is these, if you have short legs like I do, you might need to hitch these up a little bit higher. So if you got normal sized legs, having these along your regular waist area, it's probably going to be just fine. But if you find you're not getting enough resistance, and this is what I ran into when I was using them, you actually need to make sure they're attached on your feet and then hitch them up and then tie them up a little bit higher probably than you normally wear pants. So when I was wearing shorts over top, these were actually like 2-3 inches above the line of my shorts. Once I did that, I started getting good resistance and found it was much more effective for me. Now the real question is, do they help improve your athletic performance? And in my opinion and experience, they absolutely do. They're going to make your workouts more effective. They're going to make your explosive and your power training and your athletic training more effective. So if you are into sports and you are looking for improvement in your performance in sports, highly recommended. If you're just doing like regular gym training and you might go for a jog for cardio every once in a while, probably could skip these. I don't think they're going to give you that much benefit over just, for example, if you're doing weights, just increasing the amount of weight you're using. You don't need these if you're not doing powerful type of training or athletic type of training. But if you are, highly recommended. These are going to help you build more explosiveness, more power, and get more out of every workout that you do. So I'm going to demonstrate some training here in my basement. So that is a sample of the kind of exercises you can do that'll benefit you wearing the Agogie resistance pants. Now, this is just a small sample. There's plenty you can do. And as I said before, this is not for bodybuilding training. This is not for burning a few extra calories. This is for athletic training, movement training, power, and explosiveness training. That's where you're going to see the most benefit from this. When you wear these in training and you go to regular competition, you're going to feel faster, you're going to have more spring in your step, you're going to be more powerful, more explosive, and even just a fraction of a second in any sport like soccer, football, tennis, baseball, basketball, you name it, anything that gives you that slight advantage, especially at a higher elite level of practice or performance, or even at regular gym level, just horsing around in the field, you're going to have an advantage. You're going to be able to move more explosively, more powerfully, and basically be a better athlete. So Agogie resistance wear, very effective stuff.